let's talk about advertising, because personally, I don't watch TV. I haven't for a long time, but every so often I will catch a bit of TV going on somewhere, and I couldn't help but notice something about the ads, and I always thought it was a bit strange that maybe I was just catching the ads at a weird time. But I've spoken to people who do watch TV, and they assured me that the trend I noticed is a bit of a thing, and I've actually got some data around this. So first of all, what's the sort of thing that I was seeing that was making me think this is interesting? We start with this. This is basically a typical Western advert at this point. Let's play this one.
Click.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamonds. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
Right, there we go. Right, so excellent. We can stop that now. So,
are we taking new sponsorships now?
no. First thing to say, I actually quite like his energy. If I was to ever do an advert, I think I would want that script. Yeah. So I quite like it, but there's a certain sort of representation going on. There's a certain cuckish theme to it, right? And so basically, I'd see adverts like that, and I think, do people go for that? But then I discovered that actually, basically, that model is just like all of them these days. Let's go to the next one to give an example.
I never thought of it that way, but you have got a point.
If you're anything like me, witnessing the gradual decline of Western civilization can really drain your energy. But if you want to get through the day with your sanity intact and keep a sharp mind as we wade through the ashes together, a good night of restful sleep is vital. That's why you need Rest Again. Rest Again is a natural supplement that contains 11 scientifically backed ingredients designed to get you to sleep and help you to stay asleep by working with your body's natural processes and not against them. Rest Again wants to ensure you get a great night's sleep and make sure to do this by sticking to doses of ingredients that have been shown to work and have not chosen the cheap option for you. Rest Again starts by supplementing the vitamins that your body needs to produce GABA and melatonin, the sleep chemicals, naturally, including vitamin D, B6, and magnesium. Then, Rest Again adds in herbal extracts like ashwagandha and L-theanine, which have been shown in scientific studies to help people get a better quality of sleep. And to top that off, Rest Again gives you what you need to get to sleep at night, not just after your body has started producing what it needs. That means an extra dose of melatonin and GABA that tells your body it's time to sleep. Rest Again doesn't claim to be magic and can't promise you that it will work for you, but if you're not getting the results that you're satisfied with, then Rest Again guarantees to give your money back. So if you're interested in improving your sleep, then click the link below and get 25% off.
Sorry, this man is speaking to your wife.
Yes.
And he's saying, hey, you could have me sort of if you buy this product.
Yes.
So then when she's having sex with you and smells the Old Spice, she's thinking of him.
Yes.
And also tries to establish the habit of listening to that man, where it says back when people give orders and I'll immediately follow them.
Yes,
it sort of tries to create the habit of listening to.
Yeah,
I always quite like the Old Spice adverts.
Establishing a social hierarchy. Let's play the next one.
I always just thought it was funny, but now I'm never going to see that in the same light.
Yeah.
All right.
Kiss cams on the prowl again. Here's a likely couple.
White couple. And
oh no!
Look at that! There we go.
Did someone say KFC?
Right, there we go. Been that. So this sort of theme.
How is this going to help us sell burgers?
You just had KFC.
Yes. Sorry, what does that have to do with KFC?
Your woman has just been cucked, but you get to have a KFC.
Yeah, it's him. It's him as well.
Yes,
it's the guy who was just cucked now, hanging out with his dad, eating a burger.
Well.
What was the message there?
And the other guy gets to eat his. I won't say it, but so anyway, I found some. Oh, hang on.
This is a family-friendly show.
Yes,
devious.
Let me do the tabby button. So anyway, I found this thread on Twitter, which you can look up in the reading links and you can go into if you want. But it had some interesting sort of evidence around it. So basically, what they did is there was a study done that looked at the ethnic makeup in the adverts, and then compared it to the actual ethnic makeup of the country. Right. So let's start with Britain. In adverts, only 41% of people are white. Okay?
Sorry, how much?
41%. So let's say 40% of people in TV adverts in England are white. The actual makeup of the UK is 82% white. So we're sort of getting half represented. Now, I think I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that white men make up a very small proportion of that.
Probably less than half.
And most of them are soy.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is one aspect of these kind of analysis, which is obviously correct, but it's a geographical problem like Twitter, etc. Where are all the advertising agencies making their adverts?
Yeah,
in London.
I don't know if maybe that's but in London. Is London down to 40% white? I mean, it might be.
No, but there's
that direction.
There's two directions, isn't there? So you've not only got the demographic weirdness of the capital cities in which you'll be making these adverts.
Yes.
You've then got the ideological obsession aspect of if a person lives in a capital city in the West, they become that kind of person.
Oh, yeah, I am coming to that. I'm definitely coming to that. So let's give you an example of a white advert. Now, I'll just précis this one up because it won't be obvious if you're listening. But basically, the deal in this advert is old white guy is going to get cremated so that Jamal can have his house and his daughters. Now, you're going to think that this is a parody when I start playing it. I swear to God, it isn't.
Sorry, look at the picture behind.
No, you watch this advert and the glowing look of contentment he has, knowing that he's about to be replaced in his own home. Like,
I've chosen a pure cremation plan because they take care of the essentials. And then my family can celebrate my life in a way that reflects me. They can say they're goodbyes at my favourite seaside spot.
The rest of it is the same as that. So yeah, that is a typical British advert, and you can see why. So as somebody who hasn't watched TV for a long time,
but the only one who watches TV now are old people. So the only time I see TV is when I go and hang out with my parents at their house, and they turn it on.
Yeah,
and even they complain now that every advert is charity or funeral stuff.
Yes,
because the TV people know the only people watching are people getting close enough.
Yes. But I mean, he was so happy, wasn't he? I'm getting cremated and Jamal is getting my house. Right, anyway, so on to France. The ethnic makeup of France is 85% European. Okay? So what do you think they're
Sorry, there are other ways to interpret it.
What?
It's just I'm so happy I'm not gonna look at my daughter anymore or something.
Yes, I'm finally getting out of here. They're taking me down this afternoon to be cremated, and I won't have to live in this bullshit anymore.
He's not even dead yet.
I won't be a corpse that can be resurrected and watched.
Right, anyway, France. France is 85% European. Their adverts are only 45% white. So they're actually less bad than we are. I don't have a French advert, but you get the thing. Right,
less possessed.
Yeah, even though they've gone really large on this stuff for whatever reason, I mean they're still massively.
I don't know about the French. I mean, when we did what was it? Yeah, there was a ranking of which country had the most racist population, and of course the Anglosphere was the least, and then just there was this glowing red country, and it was France, of just not agreeing to the questions that were given.
Yeah, but that's by European standards. I mean,
India was glowing red, proper.
Yes,
but
yes.
Just saying.
Well, as somebody who's travelled around the world, I can tell you the most racist person that you'll ever find in a Western country is just like tepid compared to a normal person on the street in the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Totally right.
Yeah.
They love Hitler in Afghanistan.
Yes. Yeah. It's like everything that we are told from birth not to be. They're just like there. Yeah. Right. German adverts. Germany is 53%. Oh no, they're adverts. Oh blimey, there's still this in Germany. There's still a majority in their own adverts. There's still 53% white people in their adverts.
Well, there's a difference between white and German, isn't there?
Yes,
they might have a lot of Swede in their adverts. I don't know.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it as just sort of very broad racial categories to keep it super simple. So
this is this guy's data as well.
Yeah, and I started to think to myself, okay, why is it like this? And the interesting thing is, it's not just diversity, is it? It's a specific combination. It's always a black man and a white woman.
It's the most common.
Yes. Oh, massively.
That's because that's what you see in real life, right?
No, what I see in my real life. Well, I live in Winchester, so what I see in my real life is like 60-year-old dudes with a 40-year-old Thai girl.
Yeah,
That's the interracial.
that's the
couples I
actual
see.
reality. Yeah. Well, otherwise you get people just within their own racial groups. That's the data.
Yeah.
Because I've seen this data before.
Yeah.
You know, you've got some of it there. I don't know if we're going to get into it, but here's the dating data.
Yes. Well, this is what I wanted to come to. So this is an article in some business magazine.
That's
the uncomfortable racial preferences revealed by online dating. So the thing I was coming at this is because we know that advertising is overwhelmingly directed towards white women, because white women in Western countries have by far the
Spending power.
The spending power, yeah. Because white men, they don't tend to do a lot of shopping. So white women drive the purchasing decisions across basically all categories, including like men's cologne and men's underwear and all that kind of stuff. It's all driven essentially by white women. So you might think, okay, well, if the advertising agencies are relentlessly pushing, black men and white women as a standard, maybe that's tapping into what women actually want. But here's dating data. Pulled from a number of dating sites to see what women actually respond to.
Let's say that this is 10 years ago, November 20th, 2013.
Yes, that's fair. But I mean, there are other data sets that sort of back this up as well. So when you do surveys, so stated preference, it goes well up. But when it comes to revealed preferences, such as the dating data, and also you can look at the marriage data as well. I didn't put that in there.
Well, OkCupid and I think Tinder as well did their own analysis of this, and it's exactly the same as the one you're showing me now.
Okay, so I mean, what we're showing on here is women responding to men. So basically, white women's preference
Latinos,
is
women, and
white
Asian
men.
But it's not just whites; it's Latinos and Asians there.
Yeah, in fact, yeah. So ask women who they want, and Asian, Latino, and white women all say white men. Okay, and then let's go down.
Black women want black men.
Oh, hang on. Let me just press the. Yeah. So and then here's the lowest response rate. So here's flipped round. What do women avoid? And Asian, Latino, and white women avoid black men. That's their lowest response rate.
There is something here I found more, because your point is so true. This one,
right?
Where it's like men responding overwhelmingly like Asians.
Oh yeah,
except Asians who like Latinos, apparently, according to this data set.
Yeah.
But I am trying to think now. I don't think I've seen a single advert ever with that very common example that you're talking about, which is an older English guy with a Thai bride.
Yes. But that if you're following the data, that's what you'd put in.
I'm going to actively hunt for that now. I'm going to go and watch TV for like 2 hours or something.
For you,
that's all I can stomach.
Yes. So I thought that was interesting. It's like so you can't even justify it on a base data level. But then I thought, okay, well, let's follow these trends a bit more and have a look at Russia and China, shall we? So, right, the ethnic makeup of Russia is 81% white and 19% non-white. Do you want to take a guess at the level of diversity in the adverts?
I've been there. There's no.
It is 100% Russian.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you may have in state propaganda. You'll find people from like Tanotuva or something,
right?
And from Siberia.
Yes,
that's about it.
Yes,
maybe a Chechen.
What I mean, so Russia has gone the opposite way. 100% Russian, and we can do the same game with China actually. So China is 91% Han Chinese and 9% other. Do you want to guess the percentage of Han Chinese in Chinese adverts?
Has it got a 1 and then 2 zeros?
100%. So for whatever reason, Western advert companies have hit upon genius level sales technique that the Russians and the Chinese are yet to learn. Because obviously these Western media companies, they must be doing it because they think it drives sales or something. I mean, that must be it.
Yeah.
So surely you think that Russia and China would jump on this trend, but not. In fact, what I will show you
they
is
kind of go in the other direction.
Yep.
They kind of go in the kind of racist direction usually.
Yes.
To sell their products.
Yes, there is a touch there. That actually, what I've just told you is it's not strictly true, because I was able to find one Chinese advert that looked like it followed the Western model, which is a Chinese girl and a black man. So let's watch this, shall we? So Chinese woman doing the laundry. Black man comes out of the bedroom. She beckons him over. Stuffs a detergent pod in his mouth and then rams him into the washing machine. Holds the lid down, sits on it, puts it on the spin cycle, cuts a product. And a Han Chinese man comes out of the washing machine.
China.
改变
With respect to what you said before, I think that to a very large extent, this shows the impact of ideology in people who make key decisions, especially when it comes to marketing. And all this reveals is what these people think is a female fantasy. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's...
There is one other version of this, just because following Winston and whatnot, other people in China, they've mentioned it happens a lot. White people and black people in China are kind of used as props in the advertising industry. Obviously, they are in the West too. But the white version of that is that if you want to sell a new load of houses that you've just built, you have the investors come around and you pay white people to walk around like they're interested in buying the houses too, to convince the local Chinese, look, the guy selling the houses is like, look, yeah, white people live here, probably. So these guys, they get paid a day wage to just walk around in a suit and be white. And just chat, be visible.
That is remarkable.
The Chinese advertising world is a serious thing.
That is interesting. I could comment further, but I had to carefully consider my comments before coming into this segment, and I haven't carefully considered that one, so I might move on briskly to right. So this trend that I've noticed, which is always one specific combination, because I asked that question on Twitter. I said, okay, this is interesting data, but why is it like this? And I got a whole bunch of answers from people saying, well, obviously there's a bit of a cult of diversity going on at the moment, and people said to me things like, well, if you're sat in a meeting where they're discussing an advert, who's going to say no to diversity? And it's going to come up, and therefore you're always going to end up going down the diverse route. And I thought about that for a second, and I thought, no, I'm not quite convinced by that explanation. Can we zoom in on this data? So what I basically did is I whipped up a quick spreadsheet of showing you what you there you go, yeah. So this is all the possible interracial couples that you could have. Okay. So I've got
normal day in the office.
Yes. So I've got white Northern European. That's you and me.
Okay.
White Southern European.
So that's black.
Stelios. What the Americans would call Latinos. Are you a Latino, Stelios?
No.
Right.
It's a good question. What the hell does Latino even mean?
Well, that isn't it from Latin America.
But does that include Spain? Why not?
I mean, I think culturally speaking, there have to be continuities and influences, but I don't know if it does.
Well, that's why I went with white Northern European and white Southern European, because but the Americans listening will get confused by that. So you're going to have to be a Hispanic for the purposes of this segment. Anyway, right. So you can have black. Obviously, that's a racial group. South Asian, so basically like Indians and stuff like that, and then East Asians, which is like the Chinese and so on. Now, actually, like those distinctions, I think those basically are the key racial groups. I've got very broad racial categories, and I've got all of the diverse. So you could have a white Northern European with a black woman, a Southeast Asian woman, or an East Asian woman. So basically, what I get to is like you've got 25 combinations there.
All right. And there's a lot of diverse.
And the only one that you ever see in adverts is that one. So,
well, flip a coin.
Yeah, but if you flipped a 20, well, you got a 25.
Flip a D20.
If you
only get the number 3.
Yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons thing. If you roll a D20, it's basically coming up on number 3 every single time.
And it's not just that all these have the same probability of co-occurrence. It's not every combination is as likely as every other.
Yes. Yeah. In Britain, for example, I assume that actually that one is probably the most common interracial couple. Well, mixing South Asians with plenty of time you see like a white couple and a Indian or something like that. You see that all the time.
You mean that one then? The man.
Yes. Well, that one certainly near me. Yes.
All right. That's your neighborhood.
Yes. Winchester. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm confused by this. Why is it that you end up with that specific combination? And why is it adopting such a? Because it's not just that combination. They've also started to relentlessly push towards a sort of cuckish element. Can we go to the next one and start at 116? There we go. This is a Netflix advert.
Wow. If you can't accept our lifestyle, maybe you should leave.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Whatever. Just so you know, what you guys are doing is wrong. Wrong. Honey, let's go.
I don't know. It sounds kind of fun.
So the girl in the middle is with
Maybe
him.
we should watch something.
And now he's
together.
just going to get cut.
Sure. I'd try.
Let's do it.
Chapman been getting special treatment since the minute she
Been
got
that.
here.
That's from Netflix.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Netflix is notoriously one of the worst platforms.
Well,
for
but
propaganda.
To be fair, I didn't. It wasn't like I had a shortage of adverts that I could have picked from.
Yeah. No, I wasn't implying
Yes.
anything. It's just I saw Netflix and I thought, okay, yeah. There are other combos that come to mind.
Yes.
I do love the idea that you're right to mention, obviously, that it's a certain type of setup every time.
Yes.
But if there was a mix of setups, at least the cuckoldery propaganda would be less offensive.
Yes. Yes, quite. Let's go to the next one. This is one that you can't play along with this one, Callum, because you actually pointed this one out to me. I'm going to pause this just before we get to the end and see if you can figure out what's being advertised.
Figure she be the first to get
Okay, so a woman's giving birth in a Swedish hospital. White husband is now looking at a half-black baby, and he's grinning broadly. He's very happy about this, and the wife's boyfriend bursts in, sees the half-black baby, and the husband is
And
now.
it turns out the husband and the boyfriend are a gay couple.
Well, either that or he's just getting pally with the wife's boyfriend.
Maybe, yeah. It doesn't.
Right. So, what do you think this is advertising?
Is it for men, for white men who can't give birth to children? Is it a website that matches?
Yeah, surrogate pregnancy.
I've never worked in the advertising industry, but I always assumed that the advert kind of had to sell something. And let's go ahead. Here we are. So does
it sell the
there
baby?
we go.
Oh, no.
It's selling you fruit juice.
There's an obvious connection there, don't you get it?
It's not massively obvious to me.
If you like orange juice, get cucked by a black guy.
Yes, you two can have baby photos of you, your wife, and your wife's boyfriend, who's black.
Why is there so much cuckold propaganda in the advertising industry?
Yes. Well, I mean, at least it's only the man that's getting cuckolded at the moment. I mean, if this trend continues,
Where are the cuck queens?
Yeah. Well, if this trend continues, before long, all adverts are basically going to be South African home invasion videos where the entire family gets it.
The new McDonald's.
Yes, it's basically going to be some home invasion in South Africa for like 30 seconds of everyone screaming and crying, and then it's going to be at the end, buy our burgers.
I'm loving it.
So anyway, where this leads me to, so this is sort of relentless agenda. I mean, I saw this on Twitter the other day, and it's unpopular opinion. It's basically this woman writing from an American campus, as they call it, an American university, and she's basically saying, look, unpopular opinion, white male students are the only ones having a hard time with recruiting. I'm second year at Cornell Johnson. It's honestly ridiculous how much the university employers care about this DEI stuff, diversity, equity, inclusion. Almost all of my non-white classmates have amazing job offers lined up, while my white male classmates are struggling to even get an interview, no matter how qualified they are. I don't know how we got to this point, but I expect better than a top university. So, yeah, I mean, is it? I mean, is it just that it's just diversity, equity, inclusion on its own runaway trajectory, and nobody can rein it in at this point? Is that what's going on?
I mean, at these advertising agencies, almost certainly.
Yeah.
Because how does that sell McDonald's, the South African home invasion? But they would sign off on it.
Yes, they would. Yeah. But you can see what white men are going to. I mean, so in this particular example, you can see what the white men are going to have to do. They're going to have to put a frock on, aren't they? They're going to have to put a wig on and a dress because you don't want to spend 3 years at university or 5 years or whatever and then not be able to get a job at the end of it, not even be able to get an interview. But if you
about type rights, Thailand trending in England.
If you trans it up a bit, white men are going to have to go trans in order to get jobs, which could be funny. I mean, we do a segment on it when we get to that point. Anyway, right, I will now end on I need to now plug my Brokenomics video for the NHS, which is coming out later today. And using everything I've learnt about sales technique, I'm now going to sell you this video. So, ladies, if you buy this Brokenomics video or you sign up on our member site on lotuseaters.com, I will come around your house and diddle you while your husband watches. Buy my video.
Promises made, promises kept at Lotus.
Yes. So that might seem a bit strange, but basically that is how you sell stuff these days.
Turns out.
Yes. So I'm now curious to see what. I'm not in tomorrow because obviously, working more than 2 days a week is a bit.
Well, you've got women to visit.
Well, yes. Yeah, but I expect to get a phone call in the morning to say that this video was our highest selling video ever.
I think you should do an ad like the one you just showed us from Sweden, and then instead of orange juice, show Brokenomics.
Somehow, I suspect it might not resonate with the audience. I'm sort of expecting to get a phone call tomorrow and saying only one person purchased your video.
Well, we appreciate your service, but it's no longer required.
No, only one person purchased your video, and I say, all right, who's that then? Oh, well, let's read off the credit card detail. HRH, Prince Harry of Windsor. Anyway, better stop there before I get myself cancelled.
If you appreciated that episode from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the book clubs, this one on Nora Vincent's Self-Made Man. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.